Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday, June 26th. Welcome to the Detox Divas call. Today, we're going to discuss an amazing, I guess, view that everybody should have, especially if you have children, and that is a view of making sure that they're safe for the summer, safe with the products that you're using, specifically sunscreens and insect repellents and to treat insect bites. So first thing, quick and hold on one second. I have some notes here that I want to share with you all about um okay, I guess my notes went away. So I guess this is gonna be off the hip. But first, quick, I want to make a quick disclaimer that anything that we say here on this presentation has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Anything here is basically, if you take it, it's at your own risk. So please consult with a medical professional if you decide to use anything that we suggest um, for your own safety, and just do your own research. So the first thing that I wanted to touch upon was, hold on one second, you guys, my screen is acting weird. So here we go. So one interesting thing that I found is that there are a lot of concerning ingredients in commonly used sunscreens and commonly found insect repellents. And that's can be problematic for our children. Our children are our future, and they are always needing these things. So we want to give you some safer options to use for them. One of the harmful ingredients that can be found in sunscreens is called oxybenzone. Why it's harmful? It's a chemical UV filter that can be absorbed through the skin and has been detected in blood, urine, and even breast milk. It's a known endocrine disruptor, meaning that it can interfere with hormone function, especially concerning for children whose hormonal systems are still developing. Um, an extra concern with that is that it may also cause allergic skin reactions and has been linked to coral reef damage, which everybody's always concerned about our environment. This is the only environment we get, so we have to definitely look out for it. But it's banned in places like Hawaii. So if it's been banned, it should give you some cause of concern. Another ingredient, and we everybody knows this one, is DEET. DEET is found in a lot of insect repellents. It has that it's very strong odor. And even once you've sprayed it for hours, you can still smell that. And if it's that strong, imagine what it's doing to your system. Here's why it's harmful. While DEET is effective at repelling insects, high concentrations can cause skin irritation, neurological effects, neurological effects, and in rare cases, seizures in children. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends using no more than 30% DEET on kids, avoiding it entirely for infants under 2 months. So if it's that harmful, even 30% is still going to have some sort of effect long term if you're using it, especially every day. Your kids are outside every day, especially in the warmer months. So please keep that in mind. Another harmful ingredient is retinol palmitate. Why it's harmful. And this is also found in some sunscreens. This is an antioxidant form of vitamin A. It may sound healthy, but when exposed to sunlight, it can break down and produce free radicals that cause damage, that damage skin cells. And we all know what free radicals can lead to the big C. So please keep that in mind. Um, but it can potentially increase risk of skin tumors. And an extra concern with that is that it's especially risky for children's sensitive skin, which is more prone to sun damage. So if you're looking for some safer alternatives, we have an action-packed, information-packed presentation for you. And so we will get started with Tiara Moore. Tiara, what do you have for us today?
good evening, everybody. And my shirt goes perfectly with what Miriam was just talking about, boycott toxic products. But we're gonna talk about what to do when our babies get sunburn. What happens if they get sunburn, sunstroke, heat stroke? What are some natural things that we can do? Right? So we're going to talk about an essential oil-based first aid for children when they get sunburned. Now, we cannot use all essential oils on our kids because some are hard on the liver and they're not appropriate for kids. So you always have to look to see which safety group the essential oils fall into, right? So we have some that are in like safety group 1, 2, 3, and 4. Always check the PIP for the oil to see which safety group is in. Especially like those 3, 4 categories, a lot of those oils, you can't even use them on the kids. So always check your PIP. So that's the disclaimer. So one of the recipes that I'm going to talk about is from the Go Designer recipe book called Recipes from the Steel Room. Put a 1 in the chat if you knew that we have a recipe book for the essential oils. Put a 1 in the chat if you knew, and put a 2 if you did not know. Well, 1 in the chat if you knew, a 2 if you did not know. Okay, good. So we see a lot of 1s in the chat. Okay, so I'm going to be pulling from page 26 of the book. The recipe is called After Sun Oil. After Sun Oil. So this recipe is for children ages 3 and up. So if they're below 3, you cannot use this on those babies, okay? And that's because one of the oils in the recipe is in safety group number 2. And in that safety group, the people have to be age 3 and up, okay? So After Sun Oil has 2 essential oils in it. And then it also includes 1 ounce or 30 milliliters of grapeseed oil as the carrier oil. So let's see if y'all can guess what essential oil number 1 is based on these characteristics. Y'all ready? Okay, y'all quiet. All right. Okay, so this first oil is the most loved and used essential oil and is one of the most versatile. Okay. It is one of the most valuable oils for skin care and skin conditions because it stimulates the growth of new cells, it kills bacteria, it's antibiotic and antiviral. It also prevents scarring and prevents pain, or eases pain, I should say, and it's calming and relaxing. Now, there are some other features to this oil, but just dealing with the skin care, those are some of the key characteristics of the skincare feature. So let me check the chat. Let me see if we have some right answers in the chat. Okay, let me see what I got. Sandalwood, copaiba, lavender, another copaiba, peppermint, and a few other lavender. So if you said lavender, you are correct. So our first look at Tanya. Yeah, so that is essential oil number 1 in this recipe. So that's going to be 10 drops of lavender oil. So let's talk about which lavender oils, because we have a lot of different lavender oils, right? So on the HBN side, it's going to be lavender Vera. And on the Go Designer side, you can use lavender chamomile because the type of lavender, each lavender comes from a certain family. They have like a scientific name. So the lavender we're looking at specifically is called lavender augustifolia. And the only 2 that match with that are the lavender Vera and the lavender chamomile. So those are the 2 that you can use in this particular recipe. All right, so the second oil is rose geranium. And we're going to use 5 drops of this oil in our recipe. So again, our base is 1 ounce or 30 milliliters of grapeseed oil. So that's going to be 10 drops of lavender oil, 5 drops of rose geranium with the 30 milliliters or 1 ounce of grapeseed oil. So historically, geranium was considered a powerful wound cure as it encourages speedy healing. It can stop bleeding and is an antiseptic, which makes it a valuable oil to use for wounds and cuts. Geranium also can be used to treat acne, bruises, minor burns, scalds, dermatitis, and eczema. And it also eases pain because it numbs the nerves. So let's talk about how this particular recipe can be used. It can be used a couple of ways. So the first thing, if your babies get sunburn, you got to cool them down first. You don't want to put the oil on the hot skin. You got to cool them down. So you can do this in two ways. You can either give them an aromatic bath, and I'm going to talk about what you can do with that, or you can just sponge them gently with cold water. So you want to cool them down first. And then, you mix the ingredients of your oils with your carrier oil in a PET bottle. Now, we're going to use a PET bottle or even a glass bottle because it contains no chemical phthalates and it doesn't contain BPA. You want to label your bottle so you know what it is. Don't get it mixed up with something else. Shake it well before use, right? So now you got your oil prepped. So if you do the sponge method, get them cooled down with the cool water, pat them dry real good, spray them with the oil. Now, for the aromatic bath, you can add up to 8 tablespoons of cider vinegar and 8 drops of essential oil in the bath. So, of course, you can use the lavender, the rose geranium, but you can also use Roman chamomile in there as well. So, again, after the bath, pat them dry, and then you can go ahead and put the oil on them. Now, for very sore patches, let's say if your baby gets real bad sunburn, and when I say baby, I'm not talking about like little babies, just kids. I just refer, even my middle school kids, I call them my babies. But for very sore patches, it's less painful if you use like a paintbrush that has a really soft bristles. You can even kind of dip that in the oil and kind of touch it up, with that if it's like really, really sore for them. So now let's talk about sunburns and excuse me, not sunburns, sunstrokes. So, of course we have to treat the sunstrokes as an emergency because the body's heat regulation system is not working. So it is considered an emergency, right? And that causes the body's heat to rise to very dangerous levels. So of course you got to cool the body down. But we can use a bath, of course, just like with the sunburn. You can use a bath, but then you're also going to use a cool compress on your child's forehead while they're in the bath. So it's bath plus the cool compress. Okay, so for the bath, you fill the tub with enough cool water to submerge the child up to the neck. And then in a non-reactive bowl, you combine 5 milliliters of milk and 4 drops of lavender, 2 drops of eucalyptus citiodora, and then 3 drops of lemon. Now, let me say this about the lemon oil. Lemon oil is what they call phototoxic. That means when it's exposed to UV light, it can cause a reaction like blisters, redness, burning. So you have to avoid exposure to UV light, like with the sun, for 12 hours. So after you put this on there with that lemon, you cannot let them go in that sun for 12 hours. Okay, because that lemon oil is phototoxic. And then add to the tub, you agitate it so the oils disperse in the tub, and you let them soak for 15 to 30 minutes. Okay. And then you just kind of gently massage any floating droplets of oil onto the skin. And then you're going to use the cold compress, which is going to be your lavender, your eucalyptus citiodora, and your lemon oil. So that's how you can naturally treat the sunstroke and the heat stroke. So those are some natural ways to take care of our babies if they get a little bit damaged from the sun.
Well, thank you so much, Tiara. You all please show her some love in the chat. Let me give you all a little background about Tiara. She is an award-winning science teacher and Buffalo, New York native, now residing in Metro Atlanta. She loves to learn and help people. So I just love Tiara. She always has helpful information, and will know that she's done her research. So thank you so much, Tiara. And next we have Courtney Harvey. She is a mom of 3, a homesteader, and a farm her. She's a farmer, but she's a farm her, and a nature lover. Courtney, please tell us what you have for us today.
Hello, everybody. So, for those who don't know me, I live on a mountain in New Hampshire, and while it was very, very cold, it's not anymore, and all the bugs have come out. And we went from like 40 degrees where we were trying to almost turn the wood stove on to 100 degrees. So all the fun bugs have come out. Um, when I learned like all the toxins and stuff that Miriam talked about that are in bug spray, especially DEET, um, I stopped using it. And that was a lot of years ago. So before Go to Sana came out with this bug protect, I would just like splash like just tea tree oil on my head, and they like to get me around my ears. So I would like put just like a couple drops behind my ears, and that helped, but it's not the best smell. So this smells a lot better and helps, I guess, more. Um, you can use it on your kids, but it says 3 years and older. We also use this on our dogs. We hike in the woods every single day, so it works really good for that. It doesn't have all the chemicals that you're going to find in commercial bug sprays. This is just tea tree oil, um, eucalyptus citradora, and grapeseed oil. So, like with the commercial products, they're water based. This is the grapeseed oil is the base of it. So, um, instead, like the water base will absorb off your skin almost immediately, especially if it's 100 degrees outside. So this with the oil, it's able to like stay on your skin longer. It doesn't evaporate like the water-based product does. Um, it's naturally non-toxic because it's just essential oils. And I think that's what I have for this one. um, I really do like this. The bugs absolutely love me, and it helps so much. It really does. So, we also have like an afterbite, like a roll-on that you could use for your kids too. I don't personally use that. I have my own that I make with our lavender essential oil, um, peppermint essential oil, and then I add kaolin clay, Epsom salt, and witch hazel. So it turns into like a paste. So it got like that way it stays on your skin a little bit longer, and it actually takes the swelling out of your skin. Um yeah, I think that's what I have for this evening. The bugs are trying to kill me, and Go to Sauna is helping me.
That is
Hey
so
Miriam, can I
awesome.
also give a testimony for that bug spray?
Oh, sure, sure, sure.
So that stuff works so good. So a lot of y'all know I do a lot of vending. I live in the Atlanta area. You know, it's hot, it's sticky, it's humid, and the bugs be on 1,000. So I do a lot of outdoor stuff. And of course, you know, the bugs, I got type O blood, and they love type. I don't know if y'all notice, like people who have type O blood, we get towed up. Okay. They love type O blood. So I've vended with it, I've vended without it, and I'm telling you, when I vend with that stuff, I do not get bit. And I'm like, you know, I reapply it maybe like every like 3 or 4 hours. And it smells so good. Like even people around me be like, oh, it smells good over here. What is that? I'm like, that's my bug spray. And they're like, yo, bug spray smell like that. I'm like, yep. But that stuff works. So y'all need to keep, if you live in an area where the mosquitoes be on 10, you need to get that spray because I'm telling you, it works.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. I've used other um natural brands, and like I was still getting bit using those other brands. When I started using this, I was like, what? I'm not getting bit. And I'm usually, like you said, type O. I already know. It's ridiculous. It's like even through your clothes, like how did they, what? But this works amazing. So thank you so much, Courtney, for your tips. and for what's working for you, and I'm sure it's working for you, so it should, work for so many, many more people. Thank you so much for those amazing tips. And now
So
we're going to
wait, hold
have,
on for one
oh,
second. Okay.
okay.
So when we were talking earlier, we were talking about the sun, and I don't think
Mm,
anybody has mentioned this part yet. So it is best if you're gonna go, like, I'm a redhead. I burn easily. I don't wear sunscreen. I don't go out in the sun like all day long. That would be a terrible plan. I'd turn into a lobster. But if you slowly work your skin into like just a few minutes at a time. So, like, when I started out, it was like 5 or 10 minutes at a time out in direct sunlight. And then now I can spend at least a couple hours out in the sun. I try not to, like, when I'm outside. If I start to get like kind of heated, I'll go in a shady area and do some work in that area. I spend like pretty much all day outside, but kind of work around the sun type of deal. But I do spend a significant amount of time in the sun with no sunscreen because I worked my body into being able to handle the sunlight. And I don't wear sunglasses at all.
awesome. Awesome. So awesome. Thank you so much for that tip, because a lot of people don't actually know that some essential oils can actually help with the SPF. It can help
Yeah.
protect you from the UV rays. So thank you so much for mentioning that, Courtney. And
Yeah.
next we have Jessica Hill. Jessica is a retired Army K-9 handler whose new purpose in life since leaving the military is to learn and help people. Jessica, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Sorry for the, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I do not know why my camera is not working even when I turn it on. So, what I'm going to talk about is, um, as kids, especially kids, as they're out and playing and stuff, they get scratches and scrapes and cuts and, possibly burn themselves on, something that's hot. Um, and so instead of, reaching for Neosporin or Bacitracin that has stuff in it that is not necessarily good for you, like um, Bacitracin can have basically it's a white petroleum jelly, also known as Vaseline. Um, this can be harmful because if it's not purified right, it will clog your pores, and it can also contain impurities that have polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, which are potentially carcinogenic. So we don't need to, we obviously don't want to use that. Um, Also, it has ingredients that, if prolonged use, can cause eye problems and ear-related issues. Um, so we have a natural alternative, and I personally use this. My husband uses it as well. It's our TLC Everything ointment. And here's some of the ingredients that are in it. It has coconut oil, grapeseed oil, activated charcoal, Nigella sativa, which is also known as black seed oil, fulvic acid powder, um, tea tree, peppermint, eucalyptus globulus, lavender, rosemary, sweet basil, spearmint, ginger root, ravensara, cinnamon, lemongrass, helichrysum, chamomile, and cistus oils. So there's a lot of all natural ingredients in this to help with different ailments. So here's some of the ingredient highlights in it. Lavender is known to assist the body with its ability to heal wounds due to its powerful antiseptic properties. So applying it to cuts and scrapes increases cell growth, which accelerating the healing process and lessening the possibility of scars. It's also known to assist with stop bleeding, so it can help with stop bleeding. The cistus essential oil has anti-hemorrhagic, anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antibacteria, and immune supportive properties that make it ideal in healing wounds, diminishing bruising, and reducing inflammation. And then peppermint is a highly effective natural painkiller and muscle relaxer. It's great for alleviating and soothing tight and sore muscles, aches and pains, and tension headaches. It also has been found to be a great itch reliever. Whether you're battling a rash, bug bite, or poison ivy, peppermint also has the power to hydrate dry, burned skin, and it's great for soothing the pain and irritation of a sunburn. So we have various products that can be used um, to help with, cuts, burns, scrapes. I personally use it. I have a dog. Me and my husband both, you get to playing, they scratch, well, anybody that's been scratched by a dog's nails, it's kind of like a paper cut in a way. Um, so we would put this on, and it's amazing how it just takes the pain away and heals it much quicker than using, some of the over-the-counter products.
Awesome. Tiara, you have a question? You want to say something about that, Tiara?
Yes, I want to just let people know in the chat. I also put some other oils with natural sunscreen in there with their SPFs, so y'all can check that out.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica. There were things that you said I didn't know. So thank you
Mm.
so much about that. I do have some TLC ointment, and it is amazing. It's like before we even got Afterbite, that was what we used for bug bites. And it really does. It's almost like it draws the poison out or draws the itch
Mm-hmm.
out and helps soothe it. So thank you so
Uh,
much.
oh, you're welcome. On a side note too, if you don't have the TLC and you get a burn or a cut, and you have our black seed oil, you can use
Mhm.
that as well. I've personally used that on a cut, and I've also used it on. I spent water on me after it was went in the microwave in the burn, and it took the sting away. So it's great to have all of those properties in it. So
But please, you all show Jessica some love in the chat. She did an amazing job. And I hope that some of you will take away some of this and just really, really go back and look at these products again because they are so, so helpful. I'm going to highlight quickly the Afterbite. This is like my best friend. It is absolutely amazing. It's an outdoor blend. I'm just going to read off the product information page, and you can download any of the products that they mention on the website. There's the product, the price, and then there's a little tab that says PIP or download. Download that information and just look it over. And if you're concerned, take it to your doctor and see if if it's okay for you to use. Unlikely they, probably will say yes, but check anyway with your doctor to see if it's okay for you to use. But this here is absolutely amazing. Some of the highlighted ingredients are patchouli, which is highly effective for keeping insects at a healthy distance. It also has a great anti-phlogistic and antiseptic properties. Uh-oh. 1 second. You all didn't hear that, did you? That was weird. I have had hit a button accidentally and it started playing by itself. So, but patchouli has it's a highly effective for keeping insects at a healthy distance. It also has a great anti-phlogistic and antiseptic properties. So, in the event that you are bitten by an insect, it can help to take down the inflammation as well as protect the bite from developing an infection. And incidentally, what you feel when you get bit by an insect, that's actually your I guess your body's allergic reaction to their saliva or the foreign object. It's not necessarily, sometimes it's not a poison, sometimes it is, but more than likely it's their saliva that we're allergic to. Lavender vera is another ingredient and helps immensely when it comes to insect bites with its antiseptic properties, which help destroy germs that have the potential for infection while soothing itch and speeding up the healing process. Vetiver has a high anti-inflammatory properties, so it's found to be very soothing and can calm several types of inflammation. It also contains circatrizant agents which help with the reduction of scars and dark marks sometimes left behind after you get bitten. And that used to be like the thing with me. I would get bit by a mosquito or anything, and then, it would heal, but there's this mark left behind. But this can actually help. The vetiver in this can actually help prevent that. And sweet basil is another highlighted ingredient, and it's great for insect bites. As it calms and reduces the inflammation, reduces itching, and helps to destroy germs that could lead to infection. And it's just a simple roller ball. You would just unscrew the top and just apply it to, you can use a Q-tip if it's like several people using it, for hygienic purposes, or if it's just yours, you could just apply it to the area that you don't want to get the irritation. So that is our presentation for this evening. I hope that this information was helpful. And coming up next, we have Coach Marcus Jones. If sharing and helping others is your passion, please join our business overview at 8 p.m. Central, and that will be at oneteamonedreamhangout.com with the passcode GO1TEAM. And if you are an HBN or Go Designer ambassador with a passion to educate and you want to be featured on the Detox Divas as a speaker or an educator, please contact Tina Huerman for details on how you can get that started. So that is all. I hope that everyone enjoyed this information, and you can take it and share it with those of you, your loved ones. And if anyone invited you to this presentation, get back to the person that invited you, to get a hold on some of these products. They are absolutely amazing. That's all for today. I hope you all have an amazing evening and take care.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.